Chicago neighborhoods and the property tax increases that they saw. Downtown Chicago, mostly corporations. They appealed their high taxes, stating, and we're talking about property taxes here, stating that crime and vacancies have led them to have led their properties to be less valuable, and therefore their property taxes should be lowered. They appealed and won. However, because the school boards, city governments, and other things didn't lower their budgets, the property tax deficit must be fulfilled. The bright idea is, let's put it on the citizens, the everyday person. Okay, don't like it, but it would have been fair if it would have been evenly spread across all of the communities. I'm going to list 3 communities, and I'm going to tell you the property tax increases that they saw. West Garfield Park, predominantly black. They saw a 133% increase in property taxes. It's cat hair on my camera, I'm sorry. North Lawndale, 99% increase in property taxes. Also, a predominantly black community. Streeterville, it is not predominantly black. They saw a 0.8 decrease in property taxes. It gets to a point where you ain't gonna keep telling me it ain't about that. It's definitely about that. But you guys are so opportunistic. Those neighborhoods, West Garfield, North Lawndale, that is prime real estate. 10 to 15 minutes from downtown, right off the expressway, 15 minutes from the suburbs. Not bad at all. We gonna price you niggas out. It's a different version of redlining, bro. Like, literally. I can't. Like, it's getting to the point where it's messing with my psyche. I gotta get the fuck up out of here. Like, I have to.
So black people have now said that because their property taxes increased significantly under black leadership in Chicago, that they are basically pushing them out, while predominantly white neighborhoods or neighborhoods that aren't black and businesses are seeing a tax reduction. So we got to go through a little bit of an education class to help you to understand. But the crash cliff notes is this. When the valuation of the property actually decreases, it sees a decrease in property taxes, such as the businesses and the neighborhoods that you outlined. When an increase in property value goes up, that means your property taxes go up. So here's the key. She's saying, how come you didn't spread it out evenly across the board? That's not how property taxes work. That's not how it works, right? When you look at the millages, when you look at the valuation of the properties themselves, when you look at the fact that these businesses actually issued proposals and protested and said, listen, the valuation of our property is down because of the crime, because of the vacancies, because nobody wants to rent here, because the Chicago Loop, the Miracle Mile, whatever it is that you want to call it, all of these businesses are going out of business and we're not generating any revenue because you guys are taxing us to death outside of property taxes. They have a valid case. Most people in black communities do not protest their property taxes. They do not file that appeal to Cook County or whatever county that y'all live in the United States of America. They just advocate for home ownership without understanding the ramifications that come along with participating in politics on a local level. So what she doesn't understand is that it's not about the businesses or the predominantly white neighborhood who pays the most property taxes because their properties are valued higher. So you basically see your property coming up like this. You're not complaining about that. That shouldn't be the issue. The issue should be, you ready for this? You're voting blue for a geography teacher or whatever he was that advocated for taxing the rich on one side, and so you can only squeeze so much out of that before they start to walk away. And now what they're doing is they're saying, in which I've already warned y'all, that the majority of the people, the one percenters, they are paying the majority of the taxes. They're paying the majority of the property taxes, so on and so forth. You're getting taxation without representation. This has nothing to do with redlining, has nothing to do with gentrification, has nothing to do with pushing you out. Anybody that buys the properties that you guys live in, they're going to be paying more in property taxes, even if they're white. It does not matter. Doesn't matter even a little bit. What really we should be advocating for, I guess y'all, because I'm not over in Chicago, I just report on it every day and I have a vested interest in seeing the United States of America become great again. What y'all really should be having a conversation about is if leadership is lowering their spending and making sure that they invite more businesses and create a business-friendly lower taxation environment to generate more revenue so that you guys don't pay as much in property taxes and you're not getting a true valuation that more or less reflects the fact that your properties are so close to downtown. I don't know if that makes sense, but let me continue. We'll talk about it.
Let's just call it what it is. It's gentrification. Residents of Chicago on the west side, south side, predominantly black neighborhoods like Lawndale, Inglewood, not black, and brown. Those residents all got hit with property bills. Late, might I add, with 100 to 200% raises. For example, that means if...
Isn't it funny that whenever you have black leadership that is a reflection of you guys, diversity, equity, and inclusion, you're now complaining about gentrification and redlining all of a sudden? Now, who can you blame it on this time?
Property taxes was typically $20K. You got a letter that was saying that your stuff is for $40K now. That's not the type of money people can just pull out out of nowhere. It's gentrification at its finest, but what they are saying is that the shops and the locations downtown that are unrented, like that big spot downtown where Macy's was before on the Mag Mall, yeah, that's permanently closed, and that spot has not been taken up since. So they saying all these places that have no occupation, the residents from the west side and the south side of Chicago have to make up the difference. Because, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I know our city is in a lot of debt, and the mayor's trying to do everything that he possibly can to make sure.
Oh, the mayor's trying to do everything. See? They're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, and then they're going to blame it on the Wizard of Oz. This mysterious white people somewhere that are pushing you out of your own neighborhoods. Got it.
That we make up this debt, but doubling people's property tax when property tax is already high in Chicago is freaking insane. And why is it just the west side and the south side? Why isn't it not the north side or the east side? Like, granted, the property taxes up north are already...
Yeah, they already high. Yep, you get it. You already know that. So we have to educate ourselves, y'all. We really do. We got to educate ourselves. We are out here looking dumb as hell because we're not fully aware that when you take up residence in a specific area, that you have to participate and educate yourself on a local level so that you are not completely misinformed when you decide to invest in a neighborhood or when you decide that you want to make a permanent residence of yourself in a specific neighborhood so that you're not left out in the cold because you're looking stupid, you're looking dumb. You're looking real idiotic because y'all continue to vote in and say, oh, he's doing all that he can. No, he's not. He absolutely is not. He's alienated himself away from the federal government. He allowed for illegal migrants to come into y'all city. He spent billions of dollars in resources and actual taxpayer money to support these illegal migrants. Won't work with the federal government on getting them out. Continues to have a deficit, inability to manage the budget effectively, making false promises, and so on and so forth. Y'all have a progression of some of the worst leadership in the United States of America right now, and you're blaming it on redlining and gentrification? No, you're going to pay for the voting mistakes that you have and having a less than 20% voter turnout rate. And those that did go to the polls, they did so and they voted the wrong way. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T-Chanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I feel bad for y'all, man.